Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with you. First and foremost, I am going to hit the emotes. If you're a subscriber, you can return those emotes. And then I'm going to hit the applause and thank Harold for not only hosting the stream, but also for the lovely gift of renewing their subscription. 33 months. Harold, thank you so much. H-Bomb and friends, thank you for your continued support. 33 months. That rules. I appreciate that so much. Oh, I'm going to move these up here. Put those up there. Last brick is here. Dude Wants His Rug is here. We got a stellar crew. Stellar crew already. A little bit of a light Monday so far. Hopefully more people decide to join us. That would be rad, as always. I am pleased. We're going to knock on wood. My chair is made out of wood. Lord Crashington is here. What's up, Lord Crashington? I am thrilled to say that we are streaming, and because I didn't know tonight, like I planned to stream, I prepped and prepared to stream, but there's a hurricane coming through, and now there might be a tornado. Now, the tornado is not near me, thankfully, but there's a tornado warning in my county, and there's also a hurricane that seems to be moving just fast. It's coming through. It's just moving fast. Yes, indeed, Lord Crashington, you got to look out. There's a hurricane coming through, and that's Hurricane Helms, which, time and place, the fact that that's just Green Lantern. Y'all, that's just the Green Lantern. Just apparently not enough people cared that's just Hurricane Helms was just Hurricane Helms, Shane Helms' alter ego in wrestling, was just a loose parody. It was like Green Lantern and Batman, so it's like when Batman had one of the cores. He even had, that's the thing is, Lord Crescent, he has a Green Lantern tattoo, and that's what inspired him to do the gimmick. Because the story goes that people were asking him about his tattoo, and then when he explained it, they were like, ha ha ha. And then, as a rib, they told him that was going to be his gimmick, and he was like, I get to be a superhero, even a delusional one. Sure. That's all I've ever wanted. So, sometimes a rib is a work. And sometimes a rib is your career. Guy's been able to make his own comic books, so joke's on them. Also, a beloved character. Mighty Molly, also great. And then I can't remember who was his sidekick, and it was a bad, poop joke. I can't remember who his sidekick was. But Mighty Molly, that was a good little bit of business. Short-lived bit of business. Anyway, that's just wrestling. That's just like wrestling. Rosie, that's right. It was Rosie, yes. Rosie was his sidekick in training. Side hero in training, so that it spelled shit. It was something like that. It was not a cool joke. Superhero in training. That's right, not sidekick. It was superhero in training. Shit. Yes. Thank you, Lord Crashington. Also, once again, if you're using closed captioning, they don't like swears here. Hi, Jam. Welcome. We're going to get building. We're going to do a building stream. I'm going to build a model kit for you. I already started working on it on Saturday. It's Ogre's GNX with its nice purple center here. It's a purple sticker and then purple plastic over that sticker. I wish it was just a darker shade of purple. But whatever. Also, as a high grade, the GNX drive does not remove from the back. It's not hollow and slides in. That's more of a master grade thing. We got one arm done here. We're going to work on the other arm. This thing is boxy and weird, and I really like it. Also, I haven't shown this yet because it's got beam, energy things, like discs and burst things here. So it's got some nice see-through pieces, and then the blades for its actually cool swords. This is a good color. I like this. I like this orange. Just not a lot of orange. A lot of orange in Gunpla. So if there's going to be some orange, I'm on board for it. Uh, Super Stacy, yes, Lord Crashington. I completely forgot about Super Stacy. Thank you for reminding me about Super Stacy. I forgot that that was another sidekick. Um, but yeah, hi everybody. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Welcome to the chat. I'm going to retweet. But yeah, weather stuff was touch and go. I didn't know like if I was going to the internet could go down because there are winds. The wind is a thing and it's a lot of rain. Um, so in this area, everything is underground, like all the power and stuff. But then it comes out of the ground to transformers and then goes to houses. So you don't have to worry about like power lines falling down, but you do have to worry about transformers just losing their connection and needing to be repaired. So luckily that hasn't been an issue. Uh, and yeah, I kind of just like said, well, if it happens, it happens. But yeah, here's the ogre. You can see right there. There's our friend the ogre. Oh, ogre. Sorry, ogre is the pilot. He's the Gundam pilot. This is his GNX. It's just ogre's GNX. That's all it is. It's his custom build, and he made a cool, weird build that I really enjoy. So we're gonna keep working on it. I snipped out some parts ahead of time. That's my finger warm up. That's a tip from me to you. If you are going to try to stream model kit building, not necessarily for just like building, but yeah, if you're going to stream, you want to snip a couple things. You want to get your hands warmed up a little bit, get your feelings going. You don't want your first snip to be on screen. Or stream, I should say. Screen is the same thing. I'm on your screens right now. Welcome. As I said, if this is a light Monday night, that's okay. I'm happy with a light Monday night now and again. That's all right. I would say when it is a light Thursday, that's when I'm a little bummed out. Thursday nights, I like to have some people here because it's my first night and it feels like my night. You know what I mean? Like that was the first stream. Was Thursdays. And of course, the times have moved around and extended. I used to stream like 3 to 4 p.m. And then it was like, I'll do an hour and a half, and I'm going to do it later. And I streamed at 8 o'clock, and now it's 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's changed a bit, but Thursday's always been a stream day. And I generally do feel a little bad if I can be honest, if I'm not like getting people to come hang out and watch the streams on those days. All right, so we do need to we're going to connect this together here. This. Yes. So it goes to get like that. No. So this looks like this. This looks like this. That's how it goes. That's how it goes in. And then it goes in like this. Yeah. Now we do have to put some stickers on here. And I mentioned this on Saturday, and I'm going to repeat myself. I do not enjoy this kind of stickers. Didn't know that Rosie is Roman Reigns' brother and a member of the whole family. Yes, Rosie is yeah, indeed, yeah, he is Samoan and he is part of the family, and yeah, Big Brother Rosie. He was I don't even know what generation because there's been so many of them, but yes, he is part of the Inoue family. Oops, this is the wrong sticker. I put the wrong sticker out there, but yes. Indeed. Rest in peace. Yeah, it's to me it was always weird that it took till like Reigns for them to really accentuate the fact that there's been one the most prolific extended family in wrestling history. And like they make a big deal about the Hearts when only like two Hearts had full-time WWE contracts and several other Hearts had minor appearances in the WWE. And then, of course, the Hart Dynasty, some of their descendants certainly have. And it's grown. But the Hart Dynasty is like pales in comparison by numbers. They're not, necessarily at gold, but championships, but in sheer numbers. Like the amount of people in that extended family that have come through the doors of the WWE is remarkable. Basically, if you're not Joe, and Samoan, you are extended blood of the Inoue family. It is a long, prestigious group. Yes, Sika. Yes, the Rosie and Roman are the sons of Sika. Of course, you know. We had, of course, the Usos are the children of Rikishi, who was also Fatu. A long history there, many years. The Samoan SWAT team. The Tongan Kid, not from Tonga. He was also Samoan. Of course, Yokozuna. It is possible. I did it for The Rock. Harold, he did it. He did indeed do it for The Rock. Although I guess in the end they decided it wasn't him. It was Triple H who manipulated. Triple H manipulated him to do it for The Rock. So in the end of the day, it was Triple H who was the big bad. Because the audience was like, we don't want to boo Rikishi. We like Rikishi. Why did you make Rikishi a heel? He's a great. So I've never seen the stats there, but I know that Roman Reigns was tag team champion for a long time, had his main champions as well. He might have more championships than Yokozuna. Yokozuna was a tag team champion as well as the world champion. So they might have similar records because he was tag champs for a long time, but not for a lot of different people. He's no like Seth Rollins has been tag champs with like 3 different people. So he's had more in the Shield. I think he is probably the most decorated member of the Shield by far. Rikishi was one of my faves when I watched WWE. I mean, here's the thing. A big guy that can move. He was cool. He was fun. Still with us to this day, which is remarkable for a wrestler, especially a wrestler of that era, especially a wrestler of that size of that era. And he entertained people. He could work. His super kick was very impressive. Would he do the ass face all the time? No, they probably would find it in 2020 era if he was wrestling today. He would do something else, than that probably. He would still dance because wrestling audiences love a big man that can dance. They just do. They just always have. So yeah, he would still be doing plenty of good work today if he was active on the roster. Rikishi was cool and fun, and people liked him a lot. Yes, Alpha son of the great Samu, Manu, and Ellie Smooth. Yes, indeed. There are many, many quality wrestlers from that generation, from those many, many generations. Underrated, often overlooked, certainly given a terrible gimmick that was beneath his abilities, is Umaga. We don't rest in peace, Umaga. We don't talk enough about Umaga. He was saddled with a very bad gimmick, and he certainly was better than that gimmick. Yes, indeed. There are a lot of kids, and they all grew up in the wrestling business, and it's very funny because that wasn't the plan for Roman Reigns, but football didn't work out, and he got a kid, so I'm going to do wrestling. And of course, similar to the Usos, who just didn't really have a plan, but ended up going for it and being trained. I believe that was Umaga's school. If I remember correctly, it was Umaga who encouraged them to give it a go. I may be misremembering which of the family members did, but yeah, he was Umaga is often remembered for his bad gimmick more than his incredible ability in the ring. Uh, his Samoan drop is still probably my favorite Samoan drop. I mean, Rikishi's was good, but Rikishi was usually a counter, um, and it was impactful, but he didn't do it a lot. But Umaga's Samoan drop basically could have been a finisher. He ended up doing the spike, which is, part of the whole character and not necessarily, it's like fine. But he could have used the Samoan drop as a finishing move. It was always that intense and that devastating. Just such a huge fan of his ability in the ring. Kishi, Tongan Kid, and Umaga. Yes. Any thoughts on Dwayne Johnson buying the XFL? So, people who were excited about an alternative to the NFL, that were excited about the XFL, but certainly weren't excited about giving money to Vince McMahon, should be very happy to have an XFL without Vince McMahon. And having The Rock as part of the company, on board with the company that had purchased it, is really interesting because he will clearly be the face of it, which puts a lot of eyes on the product that might not necessarily have been on the product before, which is great for people. I hope they have the resources um, to safely run it as best they can. I don't, obviously, like, live sports are just not hopefully going to be a thing for quite some time in the way that people kind of need them to be. He's a better leader. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Vince is completely out. Yes, so, well, astrology, I don't pretend to know the logistics of it, but they did declare bankruptcy, and this is part of a buyout. Now, it may be that Vince does have some share of it, and whatever, but as far as I can tell, um, well, the thing is, they declared bankruptcy and to get rid of their debt collectors, and I think they're just buying the name. I don't think there is much to buy. Um, but really, it feels like they're just gonna try again with, uh, with the benefit of having Dwayne the Rock Johnson as the face of it. Who knows what he'll be doing with it? If he's just going to be doing promos, if he's, for it, if he's going to be a goodwill ambassador for the project, or if he's going to have, like, a lot of say in what goes on with it. I don't know. I didn't read a lot about it. I saw the news and it was like, oh, okay. I mean, all right. I guess. I also, you know, it's not something that I'm not going to watch it because it's just not a thing that I'm particularly interested in checking out. That's just me. I just know that about myself. I didn't watch its return when it came back at all. I spent literally zero time engaging with it when it returned this last time. So, it's just not it's not my thing. But I hope it's good, and I hope people are well compensated and get to do the cool shit they love doing and enjoy it and all that, because that's obviously very important. Okay. Oh, I think I was putting this on wrong. So we got two hands here. I'm gonna go with the handle one to hold the weapon. You know what? I already got a handle. I already got the fist here to hold the weapon. So we'll do the open hand on the other side, because why not? It's there, and then this goes here. Yeah. Oops. Well, apologies. He bought it while partnering with a VC group. Yes. Yeah. I mean, he's the face of this venture capital group that put the money down for it. The only bit of the XFL I watched was a bit of the Seattle Tampa Bay game because both teams had former USF quarterbacks. Oh, nice. Yeah, I have a friend who went to a couple games in LA and was or Oakland. I can't remember which friend it was. I had a friend who went to go to a few games. Oh yeah, it was LA because it was Julian. That's right. Yeah. Um, so he went to a few games in LA and had a good time because it was just fun football to go watch. So I was like, oh, that sounds neat. Glad he had a good time with it. All right. We're going to put an arm there. Then we're going to put this on. Like this. There we go. Twist that on there. And our arms are done. And we can move on to legs. And we're going to do one leg at a time. I don't know why we're building the complete total right leg when the feet, I bet, are identical. But we're building the complete and total right leg. And then we'll build the left leg. Because that's what this instruction wants me to do. So that's what we will do. The thing I remember about the new XFL is they had all the fans on the side of the stadium opposite of the cameras to make it look like they had more fans than they did. Yes, Lord Crashington, that is certainly a wrestling staple. You got to make it look like there's people out there. You got to make it look like, yeah, you're just like, oh no, we're just going to place people where our cameras are. Yeah, to make it look like there are more people here. Yeah, that is. And you darken the areas if you're in an indoor stadium or whatever. You darken the high areas where you don't have anybody sitting to make it look like there aren't up there. Oh, look, it's packed. There's no seating up there that is empty. We're gonna move these people down and change the lighting over here. Cool, cool, cool. Pay no attention to what you think you know about how this venue looks. All right, so let's keep going with here. And piped in crowd noise. Yeah, I know the first XFL definitely piped in crowd noise. Try to do what you can. You're putting on you're putting on a show. You gotta sell it. You gotta go for it. Ugh. I'm gonna tell you right now, folks. As a now 40-year-old man, if I could say anything about what I've learned, only having been 40 years old since the end of the end of June, so a month and change. I can tell you right now, this is what I have learned, what I have discovered. You gotta stretch before you do stuff. You just gotta stretch. You can't not stretch. Today I did not stretch before I got on my modified stationary bike and rode my bike for like a half hour, and I did not stretch properly. And then I took a water break and could feel it like everywhere, and I had to stop what I was doing and like give myself a moment to just be like, oh God, okay, well, all right, what am I doing here? What am I doing wrong? But yeah, I really had to like stretch out. And that's frustrating. Because, like, I didn't think that was going to be a thing. I really needed to do it. But yeah, I'm enjoying the biking. That is the thing that I am certainly happy with right now. That's going well enough. Because it's just like, yeah, just going in and having a good time on a bike and not having to worry about traffic and hills and escaping more of the heat, because even though I'm in a garage and it's warm in there, it's still not outside with the sun beating down on you, and it's humid, but it's also not sunny, and so that is appreciated. Today was a little cooler in temperature, but definitely not cooler in humidity as we prepped for the hurricane. Which, hey, everything worked out because we got to do a stream. So that's pretty good. Happy with that. I did today, I'll say this, because I said we'd had an internet outage a couple weeks ago. And it reminded me that I don't have anything stored on my computer to just watch if the internet goes out. I just didn't have anything. I ended up like having a few, I had some manga on my iPad, so I just read that. So this time around, I did make sure that I downloaded some old video stuff on YouTube that I been meaning to watch and get caught up on. Basically, like a YouTube group that I didn't know about in the past. I just went and found some of their videos from way before I was following them and downloaded that and put them on a USB drive. So if we lost power, I could watch them on my laptop if I wanted to drain the laptop battery. If I was really, really bored. But even if so now I just have them. They're just on that drive, and if the internet like goes down, I can just pop those in and watch them. So I have something. I guess that's the real thing about paying for internet streaming services for I have a Crunchyroll account and a Funimation account. So, in my modern life, I am not a torrenter anymore for stuff. Uh, Although, when we talk about anime after the break, the pause for the cause, when I talk about shows I watched, I'm going to talk about a show that it's an episode that hasn't been licensed in the US, so I did watch it on a fan sub site, but I streamed it. I didn't torrent it. I actually don't know like popular torrenting sites these days for that. I would have to investigate. But I do know a couple websites that just stream fan sub stuff. Uh, Nobody picked up Jin-san from last season, which why would they? Right? Why would they pick up a 5-minute show about an old man that flirts with his wife? Uh, Nobody picked that up in the U.S. And then nobody picked that up as far as I know. Uh, it's still the same sites. Yeah, I mean that's what I assumed, right? I just I barely do any of that these days because I don't have to. Um, I was definitely at my heaviest of getting torrents for things when Anime Strike was happening because I was very unhappy with the fact that there were a couple shows that I was interested in watching that were on Amazon that weren't on Amazon Prime. They were on Anime Strike, so you had to pay extra. It was an experiment where they were like, "Hey, besides your Prime, if you want this other thing, you have to pay even more." And it seems like people were like, "No, what if instead we didn't do that?" Uh, and so that was probably my last heavy torrenting phase. I was not interested in doing that, and there were shows I wanted to see, and then eventually I think the last right before Anime Strike went away, I waited for a couple shows to be out, um, and just got it for a month, and then watched everything I wanted to see, and then went back and watched those shows again with proper translations because sometimes fan subbers still not doing it. Eat the rich, says Harold. Yeah. I mean that's the thing is that I am uh, as somebody now, especially in my position as somebody that uh, some people listen to my opinions on anime, and that's just a weird thing. But there are people that ask me about shows and ask me about what I'm thinking about certain things and tell me about the shows they watch and want to engage and come here for that part of the stream and are interested in that part. And so it felt like outside of if it is not available in the United States, uh, it has not been properly licensed. I will certainly watch that now and again. I'm not going to promote when I talk about this episode thing that I watched that came out briefly in Japan in May and is now part of a Blu-ray. Um, I'm not going to say where I watched it, but hey, it's out there, and I'm not pretending it's not. Uh, it also hurts that it's good. Hurts a little bit. Sorry, I yawned. Apologies. I'm not bored of you. I'm just a little tired. How does this connect? Oh, it connects to this. There it is. There it goes. Is there? Yesterday was my mother's birthday, and we had waffles, and haven't had access to a waffle maker in a while. So nothing wild happened, just waffles. But what I should have done was ask when blueberries were purchased for more blueberries, because blueberries that we had I thought I could use, but I couldn't, because I would have liked to have made like a blueberry syrup, because that's not super hard to do, and that would have been just tasty as heck. It would have been real good, y'all. I'm really like, whatever. But waffles, it's like simple and easy. I don't have any plans right now for anything wild that I'm gonna do as far as cooking goes in the future. But I want to do more. Waffles are good. Yeah, they're just good. They're fun. It's just a fun thing. Um, outside of like, cooking eggs or whatever. Waffle. Hey, here's the thing. Lord gracious, it brings up Waffle House. When I go to Waffle House, I'm looking for an omelet. I'm looking for an omelet and hash browns. Gonna get them smothered and covered. That's just how I like them. Sometimes not smothered, but often covered. But yeah, I want an omelet and I want home fries. And I generally don't get waffles at Waffle House. If I just had eggs like the day before, maybe I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to go with a different option because I just had these. But for the most part, I'm going in for my omelet because I like a good omelet from them. So it is. And in the morning, I'm making waffles. Yep. I don't eat waffles much, but the hotel I stay at during PAX South has Texas-shaped waffle makers. And if you didn't think I'm not going to eat myself state, you're wrong. Lashbrook, I like that very much. I think waffles in the shape of Texas is exactly how you should have waffles. So, of course, I get it, and I see it, and I agree. I'm not a fan of IHOP. Have a giant stack of pancakes till you fill up on approach. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't need a lot of pancakes. I don't need a lot of waffles. They are methods of including butter and syrup of some sort. Maybe some sort of spreadable jam. And then you put that on that, and it absorbs it, and then it tastes great, and then you go into a sugar shock later in the day, and you feel like, oh, I had too many of those. But I don't need a big stack of pancakes. I don't need a big stack of pancakes. I need enough pancakes. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for enough, not a ton. I think I stayed at the Round Hotel at PAX South. I tend to get the non-pancake entrees instead at IHOP. Yeah. I haven't been to an IHOP in a really long time. They had a couple in New York. I just never had a reason to go. Also, I know where the diners are in New York, so I'd rather go to a diner than an IHOP. Now, if I'm in a town where I don't know what's good and where things are, I'll go to an IHOP. I'll go to a Denny's. Back in the day, I would go to a Friendly's because they're fairly standard in what they've got, and you kind of know what's good and what isn't there. I stayed at the Red Roof Inn Express. I stayed at the Red Roof Inn Express the 2 times I went to PAX South because it was like very reasonably priced. The downside was that and this is actually a downside, it had free Wi-Fi, which is a great thing because it's like, oh, everyone has Wi-Fi. That's awesome. But it's not great because everyone is using the same Wi-Fi and everyone has several devices because it's PAX. And the Wi-Fi didn't work in my bedroom after the first day because there were just so many people that I would have to go down to the lobby to use the Wi-Fi. And the first year I went to PAX South was before I had gotten an iPhone. So it was important to get on the internet because I couldn't just use my phone. So that was frustrating. But that was the only part of that whole experience that was bad. It was very inexpensive. It had a mini fridge and a microwave, and that was very good, and I was very happy about that. I did I pulled a Dan Reichert move, which I then told him about, and he thought was a good idea. So then I felt both proud and bad. Um, so I went and got some stuff. I went to that like mall that's not really a mall by the convention center and got some snacks. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a couple. I stayed at the Holiday Inn Express 2016. The Spring Hill Suites had them, but the last time I stayed there, both ended up out of commission at the end. I stayed at the Crockett last year, and they had them too. Heck yeah. So I went and got, the macaroni and cheese cups, the little single serving cups, right? You just add water and you stir. I got a couple of those because I was like, oh, I'll get a couple of these because I have a microwave. So I can just put water in the microwave and have a snack. And especially if I'm out late doing stuff and I can't get access to, a proper dinner. Well, I got these. So I get back to the room. I add the water to it, put it in the microwave, get it out, and realize I don't have a spoon. There's a coffee set there, but there's swizzle sticks. There's no spoons. What am I going to use to stir my mac and cheese? So I try to use a bunch of swizzle sticks. That's not working. I'm like, I was like, I guess I could grab like a piece of cardboard like that and like rip a piece. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So my solution was to stir it with nacho chips because I had nacho Doritos. So I stirred it with that and then used the nachos to scoop up macaroni and cheese because I still had to eat it because I didn't have a fork or a spoon. So I used nacho chips to scoop out the mac and cheese to eat it that way. And then you're also eating Doritos. And it's not my proudest moment, but it is an inventive moment. It is a bootleg, poor quality, doesn't pass the mustard MacGyver move. Where you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to go for this. I'm just going to try it like this, and we'll see what happens. And it worked. It worked out. Hey, it worked enough. I ate that mac and cheese, and then the next day went and made sure that I had a couple spoons in my bag. That is a thing that now is part of my travel kit. Is a couple plastic forks and knives and spoons go with me in my backpack for when I go to when I again go to conventions. That will be a thing that I have because it's just a nice little thing to have, y'all. It's just a good little added thing. Okay. And napkins. Yes, Harold. Here's the thing. I always have napkins in my bag. I always do. I have these little pockets on the side of my backpack. And there's always napkins in there. Because you sweat sometimes out there, traveling around, especially in the hotter seasons. So yeah, when I convention again, someday in the future, always have that stuff. Because you never know. Alright, this went in there. That went like that. This goes like this. These connect this. Oh. There we go. That required more push than I generally like. And then you could snap that on there. Oops. Okay. There's a lot of components for this one to work, but I think the end result is great. I just love the color coordination of this. Like the two strong dominant, there are three dominant colors to this, but it's generally this like dark navy blue, almost blackish blue, and this very striking red. I think just works cherryish red, almost a cherry red. Not quite. I think it's very sharp, and I think the It's just like overall, just a good little kit. Strong little kit. Speaking of kits, I did using Patreon money. Thank you to everybody that supports me on Patreon. I do appreciate it. I did use uh, some I did use some Patreon funds to buy a new kit because my backlog is very much not much. I don't have much in my backlog. I have a Lego set. This is on deck to build, and then I have supposedly because I pre-ordered it, but it hasn't shipped, and it's supposed to arrive tomorrow at 9 p.m. but hasn't shipped yet. I pre-ordered a new Pokemon kit that is was Lucario and Riolu, which is a cool little Pokemon, like two-part Pokemon kit. But it's saying it's going to arrive tomorrow, but it doesn't look like it shipped. So I'm assuming that even though I pre-ordered it, I'm not going to get it. Now, they didn't charge me until it ships, so I'm waiting for it to get refunded or canceled. So, well, that's not much of a backlog. So I bought the NT1 version 2 from Gundam 0080, 0080. And it also comes with a lot of exterior. It's cool because it's a cool looking kit, and it also has a ton of armor that goes over it, and so it really feels like you're almost getting like a second cool version of the kit. And I am excited about that. I think it's a very sharp looking kit. That should be here on Thursday. So if we wrap this up today, which I don't think we will, if we happen to wrap this up today, then we would start the Lego set. But otherwise, I'm going to put a poll up, or not a poll. I won't do a poll about what I build that or the other one next. But the Lego is going to be next because I won't know if I'm getting I can't trust that it says, hey, it's going to be delivered on Thursday, right? I don't want to say hey, vote on which one you want me to start on Thursday, and then it not arrive. So right now, until I have it in my possession, I'm not counting it as being here. I think that's just the smart way to go, as the Postal Service is going through a lot of issues. So, and we do obviously here support the Postal Service, but it is a rough time for them. Dealing with a lot of bullshit. Okay, so this goes in like this. But yeah, got a new kit. Should be here soon. I haven't done a master grade in a while. I have not. The Justice was the only master grade I've done here in this house, and I got here almost a month ago. So I've only done one. So yeah, it'll be good to do that. I like these high grades, but it's nice to do a bit more of a difficult kit now and again. All right, so we did one leg here. We're basically going to do the exact same thing we just did, only we're going to do it on the other side, the complete opposite leg, and then we'll build the waist, and then we'll build... Is there a backpack? This thing doesn't really have a backpack, but we got to build the swords next. That's the next thing we do is we build the swords. Yeah, this thing doesn't have a backpack, and then we put all the beam things all over the place, which is cool. And the swords combine together, which is very neat. That's cool. I like that. Anyway, let's work on this other leg. As mentioned, we will take a pause for the cause at 10 p.m. Eastern. Then we're going to talk about the anime that I've watched since last stream, which was Saturday. And then, some other conversation will come up, I'm sure. As of right now, still not doing a lot. I cannot give you any report on what's going on. I have applications for things. Some businesses in my field are opening in the surrounding areas here, which seems bad and that they shouldn't, but they have plans to have limited openings here. Uh, and I haven't been in like strict conversation with anybody, but I have put feelers out about like if anyone is looking for some folks, somebody to do some work. So I don't know. I think that it's probably too soon to have any audiences, but I also understand that businesses want to open and do some work, and if they can do it safely, then all right, we'll see what we can do. Uh, so hopefully that it will be done safely. But yeah, put some feelers out to a few places and trying to figure some stuff out. And we'll see what happens. The assumption being that some people left this area, and so maybe some people that were working at those spots are, the spots out are going to have availability. We'll see. I don't know. Certainly have a lot of experience in my fields, and certainly want to work. So hopefully something will come of it, and I'll be able to do something, and then also be able to stream as much as I do normally, and keep doing this because I do very much enjoy streaming. So I want to keep doing that as best I can. A reminder, I'll say this now as we're getting in there. I mentioned this on Saturday, so I'll tell you. If you like my bonus streams, because I know some people don't, but if you do like the bonus streams that I do, particularly my gaming streams, well, good news. I'm doing a gaming stream on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm doing my first ever Nuzlocke. I have never done a Nuzlocke before because I care about my Pokemon and I don't like the idea, but I want to do it. It is a Pokemon randomizer for Emerald. So every Pokemon in the world, the starter Pokemon, the trainer Pokemon, so the gym Pokemon, every Pokemon will be randomized, and I don't know what they're going to have. Their stats should be kind of in line. Trainers shouldn't have legendaries because that's just very hard, especially if you're doing the Nuzlocke. And I have, I wrote Muzzlocke there. So, because I do have the Nuzlocke rules here, which is any Pokemon that faints is considered dead. That's rude. And must be released or put in the Pokemon storage system permanently. I may only catch the first Pokemon encountered in each area. So, when I go to a new route, I catch a Pokemon in that route. And if I don't, unless the first Pokemon flees or faints or is a duplicate. Now, this isn't everybody's rules, but I'm doing this rule because it's my first Nuzlocke. So if I don't catch the first one because I faint it, I want to go get another one. But after that, then it's done. I can't do anything else. Or is a duplicate, and this gets so not traditional, but my first time. Pokemon given by NPCs are okay, but no trading. So I can't trade for Pokemon, but I can accept a gift of like an egg or a Pokemon. That's the general rules that I'm going with, and I think that it'll lead to fun times. It should be pretty cool, and hopefully people will enjoy it. And I don't know if this is going to be a regular thing, if that's going to be like, this is what I do on Wednesdays now. Like, I haven't made that determination. It's certainly possible that could be part of my ongoing thing. But I haven't made any strong decisions on that. I do know that next Wednesday, so not 2 days from now, the following Wednesday, I will be doing a Hearthstone stream because a new expansion is coming out. I think this Friday or Thursday. So I will get a bunch of cards and I will play new decks. Now, will I maybe play my Evolved deck with some new cards in it? Maybe. But I'm going to try to, by then, it'll have been almost a week, I'll have found a couple cool decks to play. Depending on like what legendaries I pull, I might try to build a deck around one of those. That's usually what I do in the beginning of a new season of Pokemon, a new season of Hearthstone is when the expansion comes out. I often like open a bunch of packs and then try to build decks around what I have. Occasionally, I get a legendary that I'm like, I don't want to play this because it's in it if it's a mage legendary, I don't like playing mage. Mage has had very few archetypes that I enjoy. I somewhat enjoy spell damage, compounding spell damage. There's been time where I like that. So sometimes I have liked that style of play. But I don't like secret mage, and I don't like ice mage. So I don't know. So yeah, if I got a mage thing, unless it was like very cool and I wanted to build a deck around how cool this was, I most likely would end up trading that in. But if I'm getting like a legendary warrior card, well, we'll see what's that. I've played some warrior decks that I've liked, or a legendary, certainly like shaman. Like we'll see what we get. I saw this card and thought of you. Devouring missiles. Yes, devolving missiles. Sorry, devolving missiles. Shoots 3 missiles at random enemy minions that transform them into ones that cost 1 less. Yes, it's used by both shaman and mage. Yeah, because there are now going to be spells and cards that work across different classes, not just like commons that anyone can use. These are going to be spells that can be used by multiple classes. Yeah, like dual class cards. That's a cool idea. Also, devolving missiles is a fun nonsense thing. Eric says, "Hey Pat, love the stream." Eric, love you, buddy. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel here. Happy to have you. Yeah, I appreciate that, friend. Yeah, welcome to my model kit building streams. As I said, I do one stream a week that is non-traditional. My bonus stream, trying to jump in with something else a little different now and again, because it's fun to do something a little different. But generally, 3 times a week we're doing model kit building. For anybody else that's new to the streams, as I said, you can join me here on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time until 11 p.m., just about, model kit building. And then Wednesdays, 9 p.m. till question mark. Last Wednesday, because it was my anime summer roundup, I did talk for almost 2 hours, but we had a lively chat. We got an incredibly generous raid from somebody with a lot of people watching him, and a lot of folks came, and there were some folks that, they came in because of the raid and whatever, and then they took off, and then some folks were very excited about what my stream was, and very happy to be there, and that's always awesome. That was for the live recording of Pat Baer's Anime Club, which went live because it's every other Monday I'm doing a video. This was the first time that I did one as a Twitch stream, and then put it up, and because I've done one panel at PAX, and then I did this one, so it's technically the longest Pat Baer's Anime Club, because usually they're like half an hour. But it was like really fun to do that with an audience. Got to answer questions and talk about some of the shows and talk through my thought process, so I'm not just talking at a camera. As I always say, folks, you are under no obligation to chat when you're here, because I know there's some folks out there, they just like having it on, they put it on TV or whatever, and they're just going about their thing. They're not really, they don't really want to chat and be present in the chat. And that's totally fine. Be a lurker if you want to be a lurker. I got no problem with that. But it is so nice to have folks that want to say stuff. It genuinely, particularly on days where, I wasn't really doing much and maybe don't have as much going on and that I can talk about. It's so nice to have moments where I can, somebody just sits there and chat and like, oh, hey, what about this thing? I'm like, oh, yeah. We can talk about that. Like, uh, is having Spider-Man an exclusive to the PS4 version of Avengers bad for consumers? Yes. Does it continue to perpetrate the very thing that hurts people, it does not hurt companies, of the console wars? Yes. Is it smart of Sony to do it? Of course. And that is my big take on the exclusivity of DLC characters in Avengers. The Avengers game that I think looks bad, and I have no interest in playing. But that is kind of besides the point on that. Um, People were talking about the console wars, and those always existed, right? Like, and like thinking about why they exist and how they exist, and it really does just come down to you spent a lot of your money on a system, and you have to convince yourself you made the right choice. So the controller is better than the other controllers. The games are better. The exclusives are better. I know there are people that are like, they want Xbox to win so bad that they don't like Game Pass because it means people can play those games but on their computer, and it's not fair, quote unquote. This is a nonsense argument from nonsense people, but it is an argument that exists, that people are like, but it's not as special if you can play them, in the same thing. Like cross compatibility, people don't want that. But the people that don't want that, I'm not super interested in my opinion, because I want people to be able to play cool things. For developers, choosing one system over the other, especially if there's co-publishing deals or incentives. Like if you are a small developer and Epic says, we would like you to be exclusive to our brand for X number of days and not be on Steam, be on the Epic Game Store for X number of days. Take it. Take that money. Do your thing. If you can eventually do a Steam version, awesome. But yeah, if you like, I have no problem with, because this, like, you gotta earn a living. You gotta, you're trying to run a studio. That's so hard. But yeah, remember when that dude trashed his living room because like Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC? Yeah, I mean, like, and it's a thing of like, it's people who have built an identity around something. Now, as somebody who built a portion of his identity around his job for many, many years, I get it. I understand it. Now, they were paying me, and then I bought into it and drank the Kool-Aid, and my position, my job became part of my personality, which is my own fault. But they pay me. I didn't pay them. So like, it's still a different thing. Spider-Man thing is better than them having a Predator hosting their first big adventure stream day after he was called out by former IGN employees. Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong, Lord Crashington. I mean, those are obviously very different things. And yeah, I mean, it's just it is a very strange, weird thing to be like, well, this is the thing that we are okay with as a company, when companies are just like, our response is no response, and to pretend that what you're talking about didn't happen. He didn't host a second stream, but nobody knows if he's still there or not. Yeah, I don't know. That's obviously a different issue than console wars. We'll take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. Our response is gaslighting. We're just going to pretend that it didn't happen. Last thing I'll say about this for now, anyway, before we take our pause for the cause, where I talk about ways you can support the channel if you wanted to, but under no obligation to do so. But if you wanted to do that, you could. Um, is hey, one day years ago, in the early days of PAX East, when I did not have the ability to just go in with my friends to see a panel I wanted to see, when instead, hope you're having a great thank you, Meaty. Having a great night. You know what, Meaty? I am having a great Pat Baer. So thank you. I appreciate that. I'm having a all right night. There was hurricane warning. Hurricane did come through, but we just got heavy storms. We didn't lose power. We didn't lose anything. No damage. Just the winds actually weren't as bad as they originally thought. So I'm counting my blessings that we had a light hurricane came through this area. I know other people were certainly affected more severely, certainly in the Bahamas. And so I'm not smiling about it, but I am thankful because tonight could have been a lot worse. But yeah, a short case of Gregory Helms, indeed. Before I take my pause for the cause, I just want to say this little anecdote. So back when I didn't know people at PAX and couldn't just walk in, I had to wait in line to see panels. Can you believe it? Anyway, Arthur Geese and was going to be on the IGN podcast. And I can't remember who else. Somebody else was going to guest on it. And I didn't know anything about the podcast because I don't really pay attention. But I did want to see Arthur Geese on panel because that would be fun. It was Arthur, and I can't remember who else, but it was somebody else that I wanted to see on that panel. So I waited in line. Yes, Harold, I have been through hurricanes as well. These have been hurricanes, for me anyway, in the northeast. So they were a bit different, but they were certainly strong. Been through a few of them, and they are not pretty. I lived through Gloria, and we had like a week of no electricity because a bunch of trees knocked down power cables, and they had to cut the trees down before they could replace the power cables. So we did not have power for a long time. I was a child at the time, and it was a lot. Anyway, I was waiting in line for this panel, and there were strangers arguing with each other in line for this panel. They liked the people. They wanted to go to the podcast panel, but they also wanted to argue with complete strangers who were also in the line about which was better, the PlayStation or the Xbox. I'm going to say this was Xbox 360. Yeah, the early days of the Xbox 360. And that was... And I had never encountered in real life. Now, of course, this is PAX, so it's a version of real life. But outside of a GameStop, I had never encountered people who don't know each other arguing about their console preferences and hearing words come out of their mouths as they did it. And I was it was just like, the main thing was it just took forever. They just kept talking for a very long time. And I had it was just like, I'm at a convention and I'm alone. I guess I'll listen to a podcast while I wait for this line to move. Ugh. So nice when I stopped having to, nerd. Yeah. I should have just been like, nerds. You're nerds. Just play games. Just game. Enjoy it. Who cares? Who cares? If a console has an exclusive and you want that exclusive, get the console or borrow the console. Or don't play, or wait for the game to maybe come out in something else. And if it doesn't come out in something else, okay. Okay. Keep those nerd boners to yourself, right? Yeah. Anyway, we're going to take a pause for the cause, folks, and then we're going to get back to building. So, what is this? If you're new to the stream, I'm going to talk to you, everybody, for a moment or two about ways you can support the channel if you are so inclined. You are under no obligation to do so, but if you would like to support me and what I do, you're more than welcome to. And here's how you do it. Well, what do? You go various ways. First and foremost, if you're a subscriber, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. We are going to get back to building real soon. We got to build a waist here, and then we got to build some weapons, and then put this whole thing together, and then probably start a Lego set. But yeah, if you're a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat, and let the people know. You can use your Twitch Prime coin if you have Amazon Prime. Consider using that free coin you get when you link Amazon Prime with Twitch Prime, Twitch, to have Twitch Prime so that you can support the channel. Hi, Aristophan, happy to have you here. You can also, Brozard just subscribed with Twitch Prime. I'm going to hit the applause there. Thank you so much, Brozard, for subscribing. That rules. Mention it, and then it happens. See, y'all can be like Brozard. And a reminder, if you are a subscriber and you're up for renewal, if you're a paid subscriber and using Cash Money to support me, when that notification hits, hit that thing, let us know so that we can say thank you, like Harold did at the beginning of the stream. Harold couldn't even wait till the stream started. Harold had to be like, I'm clocking in for 33 months, which is appreciated so much, my friend. But thank you so much for that. But there are other ways to support me. If you were like, I don't like giving Twitch money, I already give it too much attention as it is. I hear you and I see you. Well, how about Patreon? Patreon's also not great, but they're a thing. They're bad for different reasons. But yeah, Patreon. I got a Patreon. I'm putting in there. If you're watching this on YouTube, in my show description, we'll list all of these links. So if you'd like to watch on YouTube, if you're like, oh yeah, I should subscribe to Pat, you can just do that if you want. But yeah, I have a Patreon. There's $1, $3, $5, and $10 tiers. Different rewards for each tier. So if $5 a month is too much, you can do that. Also, if you're like, I don't want to do this monthly, hey, I get it. I'm living with my parents right now. Money is awful in 2020 and also always and forever. But if you have like some money lying around and you're like, I got a couple bucks I could do like once. Well, I have a coffee and a Streamlabs donation link and a PayPal link. And if you give me any money during the streams, that money goes to me buying kits and equipment. Also along with Patreon funds and the funds that I get from Twitch. Those go to build model kits. As I said, I use some of the Patreon money just now to buy a kit that I will be building soon, which I found and put on my Amazon wish list, and then looking through my wish list, realized it was on sale for a very good price. You could also buy something from my Amazon wish list if you wanted to. We're going to get back to building real soon. Just want to keep going with this. I have very inexpensive Lego sets that are 3-in-1s. My next set is also a 3-in-1. 3-in-1s are great for me because I got to build all three of them. So, it's a lot of bang for your buck. Also, some high grades like the kit that we're working on right now. New to my Amazon wish list. I did not know these existed. I have never built anything by Polar Lights. I have no idea how good or bad a company they are. But Polar Lights has put out some Star Trek model kits that are 1/1000 scale kits. And I put 2 of them on my wish list. I put the Defiant, and I put the USS Grimson and the Klingon Bird of Prey. I have no idea if these are good or bad, but somebody told me they existed, and so I found 2 that have Amazon Prime, and I put them on my wish list. And who knows, y'all? Who knows? But those are there now. I've never built a model kit from Star Trek, so I don't know. That's a possibility. And if you're like, Pat, I would love to help you buy model kits, but I'm not interested in buying something on Amazon and that it would get shipped to you. Okay, is there another option? There is. You could buy a gift card from USA Gundam Store. You go there, you follow the link, you buy a gift card. The code gets sent to your email. Then you whisper me on Twitch or you DM me on Twitter because my DMs are open, and I say, great, sounds good, thank you for this code. And you could even be like, hey, here's $20. You should use this towards this kit. And if it's something that I haven't built in the past and want to build, sure. Somebody did that and was like, hey, just get whatever. Somebody did that and was like, hey, you got to buy that ramen cup, that 1-to-1 scale ramen cup noodle. And I was like, you're right, I do have to buy that. And that's coming, and I'll build it. Um, but yeah, blah, 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 blah. All right. I have a Discord. You could join my Discord if you want. We're going to get through these real quick and get back to building because it's important that we get back to building because that's what we're here for. Harold says, I'm considering getting the ramen cup to build. Yeah, I mean, I'll let you know how it goes. I'm excited about it. Also, Harold is the person that got me a gift card and I used that money from USA Gundam Store to pick up a Teen Gohan, Ultimate Gohan action figure model kit that's coming out at some point, and I'm very excited to build that because that was the thing that I really wanted to build. Because it's not Great Saiyan Man, but it's the next best thing. It's Ultimate Gohan. Uh, because I get emails from USA Gundam Store now. Yes, USA Gundam Store would like you to buy from them. They're a family business, and they would like your business. I have a Discord. You can join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. I post links to all the videos I make, which I'm now about to link a couple videos that I do. And it's a great way to keep up with what I'm doing. And also, if you build model kits or whatever, you could post those as well. I put out a new Pat Baer's anime. I want to get that model kit of the mold injection machine. Yes, the model kit of the model kit maker. The thing what makes the plastic for the model kits. They made a model kit of that. That is a goal, Lashbrook. Yes, I would like to get that someday. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I recorded this live last Wednesday as my bonus stream for that week. So if you were there for that, you've already seen it. But if you weren't there, it is my complete wrap-up of all the shows I'm watching this summer. I will say that I'm genuinely, those feelings of those shows continue. Nothing's really changed since Wednesday, except maybe I like this last episode of Fire Force more than I have almost any other episode because it was focused on a couple characters, and I think it did it well. But other than that, I think my opinion on that stands. And then, speaking of anime, my weekly series, a new one every Wednesday, so a new one will be out this coming Wednesday, is Baering the List, and I did top 10 anime betrayals. That is a meme, and I enjoy that meme, so I did 10. It's not the same as the Watch Mojo list, but it is 10 anime betrayals, and I ranked them. And spoilers abound. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. So many spoilers. Some betrayals happen at the end of the series. Some, you were like, you looked evil this whole time, so I am not surprised that you were evil. Some, you're like, but wait, why? Wait, why though? And some, you're like, oh, fuck yeah. So yeah, I did that, and that was fun. I'm going to drink a little water, and then we're going to talk about anime that I watched since Saturday's stream, so let me get a little bit of water. And I just started doing this, and I really like it. I took notes. I just did like a little summary of everything I watched, just to collect my thoughts. So I am going to look at my notes as I continue to work here. So let's go to the overhead. We're back to building. Don't worry. Pause for the cause is over. Thank you for all your support. Oh, one last thing. Sorry. Gifting subs. Right now, you could be the top of the leaderboard for gifting subs if you wanted to. You get the sub to somebody in the community, or bits and coins. We got, there was a little bit of a bit war on Saturday, which is very nice and I appreciate it. But yeah, if you want to donate bits and coins to help me get that payout a little faster, or gifting subs, which is always a great way to support the channel, that's an option, and you could do that if you wanted to. Thank you. One Piece. What were my thoughts on One Piece? So, this episode was kind of boring. This is a rough one because they should have done the new opening song probably last week, because last week's episode was hype, and this week's episode wasn't that great. But there's a new song, and I kind of like it. It's all right. Manga fans have told me or told the world that it's showing a lot of spoilers for events that are probably not going to happen by the time that the next opening theme song happened. Like the last opening theme has stuff we haven't seen yet. which is just so weird. It's just so weird to like include flashes of things that like we haven't experienced. So that's weird. Um, anyway, Luffy fought some more people. He's trying to figure out that technique. The fighting is good. He's just beating up some people and doing his thing. But like I said, it's weird because so like when he was first learning hockey, Rayleigh, the guy that kind of taught him advanced forms or taught him to actually use what he had just been instinctively doing, like demonstrated a form of hockey that he's now just remembering exists, like an advanced form. So he's like trying to figure out how to do that, which would benefit him, obviously. Um, and it's fine. Members of the revolution that they're going to have, the revolution army, have been found out, and we don't know how they got found out, but they're getting rounded up. Some of Law's crew members who were there have also been taken. And then Zoro. Zoro got injured, and he's trying to get his third sword back. But the lady that rescued him, who also rescued the laughing girl that's very annoying, uh, uh, he rescued them. So now they're treating his wounds and feeding him. And they had sake. Now, I don't know why she reveals this, but a shocking secret is revealed. This woman that saved the girl that he then saved, she is the younger sister of Momosuke, who is a child because he traveled through time because there was a devil fruit. Their mother's devil fruit let them travel through time. Now, I don't understand why she would tell Zoro this thing, a random samurai man that she's never met before, that did not tell her that he is a pirate. I do not know why she decided what I should definitely do right now is tell this guy what's up with me. But she did, and there'll be some ramifications of that, I guess. It's good they found her. She can get reunited with her older brother, who is a child. So yeah, overall, not my favorite One Piece thing, but it did move along pretty well, and we'll see if Luffy can fight some strong people and actually use the hockey that he's trying to figure out how to unlock. That'd be great. We're putting the last stickers on here. We're on our waist here. So we're going to put the last of these stickers on. And I'll move on to talking to you about Ninja Collection. Ninja Collection is like 4 minutes. There's a closing theme song. The premise is that there are ninja. There's people have learned the ninja arts to fight monsters. It has all been weird little, like pastiche, like villain of the week things. My big thing about this show is, here's the premise. Something is unusual, and there's some horror going on, and it's bad, and then it gets stopped by one of 4 dudes who stops it. Now, you don't see how they stop it. Leading into this episode, you never saw how they stopped it. They just did. So, I get the idea that, it's ninjutsu, so you don't see it. It's in the shadows or whatever. Now, I don't know why they use ninjutsu to fight monsters, and I don't know why they're doing that. But it was annoying to not see what was happening. That felt annoying to me, anyway. But this episode was different. We got this young lady. She's going to a barber because a friend of hers has pushed her away and doesn't want to spend any time with her. And she doesn't know why that's happening. But that person last went to be a model of this barber thing, this salon. So she's going to go and investigate and try to find out what happened to her friend and why this is happening. Because it looked like her friend hair was full of eyes. And then a dude is like, maybe a little creepy, but not super creepy, just being like, oh, it's fine, whatever. And then he lets her know, oh, those eyes? Those protect her because there was a demon posing as her friend trying to go after her. So she used the eyes to protect herself. And then this demon reveals herself. Oh, that girl was a demon this whole time. And then you see a slice and a head fall off in shadow, and this dude killed this demon. And that's the end of it. Which was different, because the person that we thought was the victim of what was happening turns out to be the demon the whole time. That's different than what we were used to and expecting. So, cool, I guess. Also, they don't animate mouths moving. It's a weird, low animation style, odd art style. I would say look at one episode. I don't think this show is good, but I think it's okay, and it's short. If this was a full-length series, I definitely would not be interested in it. But as it is just a short little series, I am mostly engaged in what is happening. And it's quick and weird, and it's just short little horror story things. But I'll be interested to see if there's more plot as it goes. So yeah, that's Ninja Collection. It's fine. Okay, so the big one, God of High School. In our last episode, there was some weird shenanigans that took place outside of there. We still don't know about these cool powers that some people have. We don't know what's going on there. We do know that in one of these semifinals, so this tournament is the God of High School. This is the prelims round for Seoul, South Korea. And the person that wins this moves on to the, I don't know if it's a full tournament, they represent Seoul, or if there's going to be other qualifiers or whatever. I'm not sure about that. But in our first round of the semifinals, Han brutalized his friend and took advantage of her injury that she had and didn't fight fair, and is in the finals. And Jin is pissed about that. Jin easily defeats the dude that he was fighting to make it to the finals that clearly just wasn't in a good bracket because he just got beat pretty easily. So it's Jin versus Han. We find out why Han is winning and not fighting, particularly like honorably and just going for the victory, whatever victory he can. We find out why he's doing that as we body complete this kit. He's doing that because his friend, who is terminally ill, who he's been fighting for, the wish he wants granted when he wins is to help. Well, he wants the nanomachines, but it'll take too long for the tournament. His friend doesn't have that kind of time. So he says they form a contract. If he can win the tournament, they'll help him out there. But he has to have overwhelming wins. And apparently this is to push him to be a more violent person or to push the people he's fighting to step up. But it's like a little side action going. Well, unfortunately, Han's friend dies during the match, which is sad, obviously. Like, we're mad at Han for what he did. But we're still bummed that his good friend passed away, because that sucks, obviously. So we're still bummed about that. And then he's kind of like despondent, and then Myra encourages him with a letter from his friend to fight for himself for once. And so he fights Jin, and the art style changes, and it looks like it's hand-drawn and done in ink, and it, like, I can't do it justice, but it's fucking beautiful. This fight scene looks incredible. I'm so impressed with it. Once they're free to fight, because they just want to fight for the love of it, it's awesome. Jin pulls off a move we haven't seen him do before. He wins, and then it's implied by other people that this is the best Soul can do. So it's very clear that Jin hasn't. Jin had kind of like tapped into his potential, but it's very clear that he is perceived to be weaker than the other people he'll be competing against. So he may run into an issue as the tournament continues, but it looks like their friendships have been restored and people have kind of figured it out. Like, things are good, and we'll be introduced to more cool characters, I'm assuming. And just maybe, we will get some answers to, hey, what the hell is going on with the powers that some characters seem to have and the stands that they seem to have access to. Some of God of High School is weird, and I want to know what the fuck is going on with some of it. We'll put this down here so you can see it. Our completed kit. And then we're going to build some weapons. Not too much. There's also stuff for a variation of this kit if you want to make it look more like a traditional GN kit. There are parts that come with that to do that, which is kind of nice for other high-grade kits. That's sometimes interesting. They include that. They don't always do that, but sometimes they do. But we don't really need to worry about that. Move on there. And then I'm going to talk to you about the Room Camp bonus episode. So, what is this episode? It is sponsored by a company, a bike company. It very clearly feels sponsored. Now, this video is included in the Room Camp. This is the laid back camp. There was a 5-minute kind of fun little side series for laid back camp before the second season that comes out called Room Camp, or Heya Camp in Japan. With the Blu-ray release of Heya Camp, there is a bonus episode, which is like 11 and a half minutes, that feels like a episode of laid back camp. It just feels like a full episode that also has some fun silliness in it. Some bonus extra good times. So I would recommend it. I think it turned out to be a very fun, cute episode. It very much feels like it is sponsored content. There is a whole thing about it's like a 3-wheeler, so there's 2 wheels in the front. I'm going to read you some quotes that Rin says. This follows Rin going on a solo camping. The premise is that her brother. Side note: did we know she had a brother? Has we ever seen a brother before? Maybe we have, but I feel like we've seen her mother, but I don't know if we've seen Rin's brother before. Anyway, Rin's brother is like, your bike is going in for inspection, your scooter, so I got you a loaner. And she says things like, this 3rd-wheel scooter is so fast, it's great even on gravel. This thing is amazing. It is very much a paid advertisement, but it also is a fun episode of Laid Back Camp. If you liked Laid Back Camp, like I loved Laid Back Camp, as I said, it doesn't have an official US release because it was on the Blu-ray for Room Camp, and they didn't license it as an extra, although they should have, but they didn't. So I found this on a streaming site on the internet and watched it because it came out in May. I hadn't watched it yet. I was giving it time to see if it was going to get a release, and it does not look like it will. And I wanted to see it, and that's not an excuse, but that's the reality. Anyway, Rin's tries sauna for the first time, and she does it's very laid back camp, and then she does she listens and does exactly what she's told of sauna, cold bath, outside, sauna, cold bath, outside, and repeats that and seems to really enjoy it. And then she does some cooking outside, and she goes to a supermarket and gets stuff, and does some camping by herself, and just has a good little time. It's light. Obviously it's a bonus episode, so it has no bearing on the series. You don't have to see it, and you can still appreciate season 2. You don't even have to see Room Camp to enjoy season 2 of Laid Back Camp when it comes out. It's just extra stuff. But it is a nice little cute little thing. Um, and I think that you will. I think you'll have a good time with it if that's something you want to do. And that's it. I found that on the internet. One other thing I will say that is pretty cool. Oh yeah, we can put these weapon things on. So these rings, I guess, are part of the other version of the kit, but we can put on all these bursting things. G1s, yeah. So we can put all these on. There are 2 new OVAs coming out in Japan and date here in the US for My Hero Academia. So if you like My Hero Academia, Funimation and Crunchyroll are going to have them. That's August 15th is the date. So if you want to check that out, that'll be on both Crunchyroll and Funimation. Eventually it will be dubbed on Funimation, but it'll be streamed subtitled first. And then Crunchyroll obviously just has the subtitle. And it's the thing. Only Shonen. Shonen is the only thing that has crossover and is on both streaming platforms generally, I would say. But particularly in this particular case, that's the only way to, you can see them on both. And it's like the only thing is like One Piece and My Hero and Black Clover, obviously the dub rights and whatever. But yeah, if you want to check that show out, it seems like it's taking place. They're both episodes. It's like a 2-parter, and they're taking place in season 3. So it's before they got their licenses, their provisional licenses. So we'll see what that means. I'm trying to pop these in here. Oh, there we go. Took a little doing to figure out how these go in. Go like that. These bursts here. That goes on the arms and the hands. Oops, I'll just pop that on there. But yeah, that's my anime for this week. Like I said, there's that coming out. I'm excited about that, and then I should look ahead on AniChart to see if there's anything else, any OVAs or movies. I think the song, Lisa's song for the Demon Slayer movie, which is basically the next arc of Demon Slayer story. They're just doing the movie, which will be canon, is coming out at some point. Oops. These don't stay on particularly well, but so if I was going to display this kit, which I don't really have plans to do, if I was going to display this kit, then I would certainly do my best to make these. I might glue these in so they don't pop out. I think one of these is gonna fall as I put this on. I saw that coming. This one was going to not want to stay where it belongs. But yeah, I don't know if I have anything else coming up. Anime stuff this season's been, it's not the strongest season, but there's been some good stuff. I definitely didn't think Uzaki-chan would be one of my favorites of the season. I knew I liked it. I didn't know I would love it. I think it's just really fun. But yeah, I'm surprised about that. And I'm also surprised that I'm still watching Gabate, because I think Gabate is not great, and the monster designs are terrible. But on the plus side, I think that the character stuff is fun. I think the character design is cool, and I like the characters that are in it. Although the shitty army dude, the cool army dude, got bit, and the shitty army dude is still there. Because you need a shitty American military guy in your Japanese post-apocalypse. You just know he's either going to survive and maybe maybe turn out to be okay, or he's going to get like messed up in some big experiment, really fucked around with. He's going to die horribly, or turn out to be not terrible. But we don't know. I mean, I think I'll finish the show. I at least want to stick around. There's a cool lady in the opening video song, so I still want to see that. So these blades, which are pretty neat, you can lock like this, and then you can hold it, and it's a dual blade thing, which is pretty neat. But we'll find a white page there. Do that. The only two outcomes possible. Yes, exactly. In a post-apocalyptic show like that, if you're kind of shitty, you know, you hope. I mean, sometimes they do survive, but they die either in a horrible circumstance because good for them, they deserved it, or they figure it out a way to make things work and like sacrifice themselves. These things don't really want to stay in. I'm going to try to do the shoulder ones again, the other shoulder ones. But yeah, I would say if you're going to buy the Ogre and you're looking to display this kit and you want these beam things in here, I would say you might want to glue them in. Now that would mean that you would have to like break them off to take them off, but that might be better because yeah, these things don't really like to stay in. This is a great idea that is, I think, done poorly. Because I do think the idea of short little, like, beam shoulders is a fun idea. But yeah. As I said, yeah, forget this. We're just going to do the one shoulder for the photo. These things are very annoying. So we're going to do 2 on 1 and just one shoulder. So I just want to move on to starting to get my Lego stuff together and talking about the next thing. But I want to get a photo of this for posting. And then we will call this kit complete. Put some swords there. And I want to save this here. There. But yeah, this is the Ogre. Like most high grades, this was a 2-stream build, which, like I said, is you know, pretty much par for the course here. We do have some time left in the stream, so we will get going there. Oh, Lord Creston says the finished gong. Give me a second, take a photo. I have to go get the gong. I forgot to preset my gong, so let me take a photo here, and then I'll get up and get the gong. All right, so I got a photo. I'll be right back in a second. I'm going to stay on mic as I go and get the gong here. Let me go get my gong. And then I can also move this aside and get what I need next. This. Okay. I'm still talking. I'm still here. And go to that because that's our next thing, and then it's gong time. Thank you so much for using your channel points for my gong. Here is my gong. Got caught with a gong. Yeah, so I don't store this like under this desk or whatever. I store it during the stream under the desk, but generally I put it in another spot and I forgot to set it. That happens to me now and again. Anyway, so we got some time in the stream to at least get started on our Lego stuff. I won't even take a photo of it. We'll just start fresh with that. We have 3 things, because this is a 3-in-1 kit. So it's Lego 3-in-1. The futuristic flyer. So the first thing we'll build is the flyer. The second thing we will build is the spaceship. And then the third thing we'll build, because we want to keep it that way, is the robot, which looks very Transformer-inspired. You can see there from the photo, we've got the flyer, the spaceship, and the robot. I've decided instead of having 3 photos for all of it, I'll just do one at a time because it's 3 booklets. But we're going to keep it as a robot because it's a robot, I mean, that is very Transformers inspired robot. But we'll start with the futuristic flyer, and we'll end with that. But for the next little while, what we'll do on stream is we will null and prep, and then we'll get a little of it started. Oops. So what basically means is we will be building, and then we will be brick separating the kit that we built, and then we'll build again. So 3-in-1s. Now, some parts, like the robot, might not use all the same parts that you're going to have in here. So when we finish, there will be parts that we don't use on generally the smaller. Usually one kit has most of the parts, and then it just recycle them and use them. There might be an occasion where there's a piece that is only in one of them that didn't end up in all of it. But for the most part, it's there. And no decals, just the pieces. And yeah, so we'll kind of brick separate here. This is the knolling process where we are just going to get things ready. And we'll start by just putting light colors together and doing that. And then we will move on to... and then basically what I'll do is before Thursday, I will just go in and I do stuff like take these and do it like this, just to save space. Make it easier to get them. Nice and easy. Like parts, we'll start with light colors. And we will separate our light gray and our dark gray because it's just easier for my eyes to see. Now, having this clip light that I have here, that's right over here, helps a lot in the building process. Just having a light that I can just definitely brighten up what I'm looking at. So we'll start with that. We can always put these off. These will be off so you don't really see them. And then I'm just doing that. This is a 157 piece kit. So the most any of these has is 157. Most likely, at least a few of them won't use all of the pieces, as I said. But it is, yeah. I really like the maroon. I think the maroon is a great color. So I'm excited to do that. And I like working in Lego. It activates a different part of my brain. And then also, it's a lot easier to fix your mistakes in Lego than it is to fix your mistakes in Gunpla. So, kind of fun to do that now and again. But as I said, since I'm only going for another 10 minutes or so, I'm not even going to change the title of the stream, or I probably won't take a photo when this is done because we won't get too far into the process, but, we'll get it going. And then, as I said, I got a master grade coming in the mail, and I've got a, maybe at some point we'll get that other kit coming from the Pokemon kit. Although, as I said, considering it's supposed to arrive tomorrow and hasn't shipped yet, I have a feeling that even though I pre-ordered, I have a feeling I'm not going to get it. Because when I looked at the page, it said, we are attempting to get more in stock for whatever. So don't pre-order it right now. Pre-orders are closed or whatever. And I was like, well, okay. Am I going to get it or not? I don't know. I hope I do, because I want to build it. I like Lucario a lot. I mean, I like the pre-evolve, pre-evolve form of Lucario as well. That's fun, but my main dude is Lucario. So, I'd like to build him. That, and we'll null here, and there, and there. Nice, easy nulling as we go. Of course, we got our brick separator, which is our only tool. And then normally for Lego sets, I just take a sponger from my model kit set for applying stickers, because I think using the wedge on this is a lot better, more fine-tuned. You can always use this wedge to apply stickers, but I prefer using that since I have it. But this kit does not have stickers because it is a 3-in-1. So it just doesn't have them. Some do. This one doesn't. As I said, it is inexpensive. This was very inexpensive. That's why I put a couple of the 3-in-1s in there, because I am, I'm getting my money's worth, even though it's a small kit, because I will get it done and be able to get all 3 done in like 2 full streams, basically. We'll We'll do a little today, and we'll get through 2 sets on Thursday, and then part of Saturday we'll be putting together that and then starting the next thing, which is cool. If you got any questions about anything at all in the next few minutes, feel free to pop a question into chat. If you don't have anything, that's okay. If you got anything you're excited about in the next couple of days, let me know. If you've ever done a Nuzlocke run and you have advice for a noob to Nuzlocks, feel free to let me know. As long as your advice isn't just don't care about the Pokemon you're going to lose. I do like people that advice that don't release the Pokemon, put them in the storage unit, because if you wanted to, you could always play the game again as a non-Nuzlocke. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that idea, so I think I will just transfer them to. Don't die. That's all I got. Yeah, Lashbrook. I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to remember a lot of the rules of Pokemon Emerald and what works and what doesn't, but I'll just kind of figure it out. Play it. It's going to be so random. I'm excited to find out what my starters are because my starters are random too. So I'm very excited to find out what I get from that. Yeah, I don't have an overlay thing set up for it because it's just a one-time thing. If this becomes a regular thing, then maybe I'll try to get one of the PokeLink thing to work, which is software that makes a browser thing and lets you display what you're doing and who you've caught and their status and all that. And it's this whole pretty cool overlay that integrates with some streaming things, but I don't have that. I'm not using that either of the emulators they support. I'm using MGBA because it's just a very bare bones system. Mostly because RetroArch, which I like a lot for a lot of things, I don't know why, but all my game audio in RetroArch right now for GBA games sounds awful, and so I don't want that, even though we won't have much volume. I'm like, nope, not interested in that. So instead I'm using that other one, which I think will be great. So we'll separate this stuff. I'll know properly in the future, but let's get a little built. We got a couple minutes left before we're gonna go raid. We always end the stream with a raid, so we will go and do that. I appreciate this right off the bat. This kit made these two colors, gray and dark gray, very noticeably different on this, which I very much appreciate because even though they're not the same size, it still can be confusing sometimes, particularly for my eyes. So we'll get a little bit. We're starting with the futuristic flyer, and then we'll move on to the spaceship, and then we'll move on to the robot. Sounds like you got off lucky with the storm. Another friend of mine in the Myrtle Beach area just tweeted that her power's out. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is that Myrtle Beach is, I'm outside Myrtle Beach. I'm in the Myrtle Beach area. So we're very close to the water, but we're not on the water. So if you are on the water, because it did seem like that's where it kind of was. We're a little more inland. So it seems like they got hit harder than we did. But yes, we just got a lot of rain. But we didn't lose power. And as you can see, did not lose power or internet, which is very cool in my book. Obviously, very happy that we did not lose any power. Because that would have been a big old bummer. A huge bummer. Alright, but yeah. Alright, we'll get a couple more steps in, and then we will go and raid somebody, and we'll end the stream there. My final thoughts on the Ogre. It's fine. It's not my favorite kit in the world. I like the colors a lot. I think that's my favorite part of it. The purple chest piece I thought was really rad. Kind of wish the GN drive was removable like it is in the master grades. I understand why it's not. I get it, but that doesn't mean that I can't want it to be better than it is. But it went together smooth. I mean, modern high grades go together real smooth. Even the ones that are a little weird still go together pretty easily. So, if you're building if you want to get everything from Gundam Build Divers, I think you could do worse. But I don't know. I think not my favorite. I just wanted to buy it because it had cool swords and it was the coloring was different than a lot of traditional Gunpla. So happy I got it, but all right. Well, this there, and let's put these last two on, and then we are going to wrap up the stream. So we are going to raid somebody. So give me a second here, and then we'll go get somebody for raiding, and then we will pick up where we left off on this kit. I'll just go and redo my no-link process, but I'm going to go find somebody for us to go and raid, because that is cool to do. So we'll do that. Let's see. I think they'll be done soon, so I don't want to go raid them. Let's go raid hey, here's the thing. I never raid. We never do Magic raiding. Magic the Gathering. We're gonna go raid a Magic the Gathering player. You don't have to know a lot about Magic because we're going to go rent Ben Wheeler, who is just a lovely gent and is a fun streamer. So we'll go give him a raid, and maybe you'll learn a little bit about Magic the Gathering, or you'll just learn about Ben Wheeler, who's a great dude. So we're going to go give him a raid. Again, my next build stream is this Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. To 11 p.m., but my next stream is my weekly bonus stream. This Wednesday is my first ever Nuzlocke run. It is Pokemon Emerald randomized Nuzlocke run. So please come check that out. And I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you on Wednesday. So feel free to join me. If you don't want to join me, I understand. But this is going to be a fun raid. Ben is great. And I don't know. I think it'll be pretty fun. Thank you for the follow, QI Breaker. Appreciate that very much. But let's go on a raid. Thanks everybody for being here, and I'll see you in the future. Bye-bye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.